So we have a 2016 Silverado 3500. It's a cab and chassis with a LML Duramax. Um, Two complaints here. One, check engine light had a P0420. We'll get to that in a minute. And the AC compressor, I put a bolt in there, but the bolt had fallen out and the outer part of the clutch had come out and it tore up the splines in there. And so, I mean, it's essentially not turning the compressor. So we're going to put a compressor on it. No big deal. Got it evac, got that off. So getting back to the P0420. So I saw a comment on a forum. 4.2 hours, a dealer wanted to change that injector. Um, and they thought that was unreasonable. But let me explain this to you. So on this, wouldn't do a regen. Had the message on the driver information center. Drive to clean filter, and it would never regen. So when it got here, it was the soot load was pretty high on it. So the first thing I do is I did a partial regen on it, a forced regen, and I'm looking at the temperatures. And IAT2 uh, exhaust gas temperature sensor 2 should get up to 1,000, 1,100 degrees, and I was only getting 850. So it's a pretty good indicator that we're not putting enough fuel out on that injector down there. It's down there. I don't know if you can see it from up here. Well, there's part of it right there, but it goes back and it goes into the exhaust pipe down there. There's the tube right there. Anyway, not that big a deal to change. So, you could probably change it in, an hour. But what I'm going to have to do here is I may have to go, 2 full hours of forced regen on this to clean that converter out, to make sure that converter isn't damaged or degraded or partially plugged or whatever. So there's your 4.2 hours. So it's not like they're pulling these numbers out of their ass and let's rip the customer off. It's like, yeah, you could probably change that yourself, but to properly diagnose it and then actually fix it, because on this truck here, it only checks that you could do a regen on it, clear the code, and if your temperatures aren't getting up, it isn't going to work. And that code's going to keep coming back every time you drive it. It's going to come back. It needs to see a regen, and it needs to see the temperatures that it wants to see before that code is going to go bye-bye. So just keep that in mind. So no matter if you fix it or not, it still needs to see a regen first before it says, okay, we don't have a problem here. So that P0420 CAT efficiency code is going to keep coming back. So anyway, not rocket science, but there's a few things that people on the forums don't know. They, how hard can it be to change that? Well, that's only part of the issue. You got to diagnose it, and then you have to complete the repair. And if you don't know how to complete the repair, then it's that code is gonna keep coming back until it does a regen on its own and sees the temperatures that it wants to see. So that's what they're doing. They're doing a garage regen and to eliminate that code before it goes back to the customer. Anyway, Duramax, pretty easy to work on as long as you don't have to really tear into them. And that's all I got.